Hey everyone, this is Benjamin here from the African Geek, and you are welcome to this exclusive Canva tutorial, because I believe that on this channel you get the most exclusive Canva tutorial. So in this very tutorial, or in this very video, we are going to be designing a travel flyer, because in the comment section a lot of you kept asking, I want you to design a travel flyer. So in this tutorial, that's what we are going to do. And as you know, what you say is what I do. So I'm gonna do what they ask me to say. And before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much for each and every one of you who keep supporting. This is not because of a milestone or anything like that, but I just want to say thank you. So yeah, before we get started in the entire design process, let's roll the hit maker intro. So we are back, and what do we want to design today? Today's tutorial is for each and every one of you who wants to design something for your clients, or a travel flyer or anything like that. So before we get started, the first thing we need to do is to click on create a design, and we come to custom, because that's what I want to use. And you can use any one you want. So 1080 by 1350, and it should open. So while I wait for it to load, I just also want to say that every element I'll be using in terms of photo, and even with a removed background version of it, you can find it in the link. There's a link in the description that will take you to a Google Drive. And you should pick it up and join me and continue. So the first thing we are going to do is to go into element, and we are going to search for gradient, not element. So gradient. So you search for gradient, and there are so many ones you would see, and you can also select any one at all you want. But if you want to create the exact thing I am creating, then you can choose this very one I have chosen. And the thing about travel designs is, with travel designs, especially when anything has to do with travel, we get to think about relaxation, things like that. So we are going to use colors that promote that, and one color is blue, or what is this, aqua blue. Aqua blue gets to promote travel. So we are going to change both colors of the gradient. So we can use this one. Is also attracting me, dark turquoise. So you can use the two. You can see what we have. It's very beautiful right now, and I really love it. So I'm just going to rotate it to 3 degrees. And I position it here. And what we can also do is to come back into our element, and I can select this circle, and I'll make it bigger and bring it to the bottom. Then I change the color to a gray. I can use a gray sort of something like this. I think I would want to stick to this. Then let's go back into shapes. And we go into see all, and you'd have to scroll down. So scroll down, and we are looking for a tube. This same tube we have over here. But since we are not satisfied by this, what we are going to do is to duplicate. So Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. And recently on my Instagram story, I was asking how many people get to use the duplicate or Ctrl+V, Ctrl+C, and it looks like a lot of you, if you are following me on Instagram, a lot of you get to you chose that you get to use the Ctrl+V, Ctrl+C, and not the duplicate thing. So now I'll just go with duplicate. But just in case, I'll go with Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V. But just in case you are not a keyboard person, you can always click on the duplicate button we have over here. So once you select both shapes, just come here and group them, and we'll just reduce the sizes of this. So position this one here, duplicate, and this one here, and you can duplicate again. But what we are going to do is we want let's say we are creating 3 packages. The package we want a lot of people to choose is the one would make bigger, so that it's easier for people to choose that one. So I'll make this one bigger. and this one will also come okay, here. Then I'll select all three, okay, all three, and I'll center them. Okay, but I'm not going to use this color. Okay, so I select this, come here and change the color to a gray. But okay, so you can use, first of all, let me choose the turquoise. Okay, so that when so I want to use something that isn't too far. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use, and the color code is CADADB. Okay, so you can use the same color code, and I'm sure you're seeing it on your screen. Yeah, and I'll choose the same for this. Right click, send to back, and right click, send this one also to back. Then I'm going to choose the same, or I can even use a different color for this one, just for it to stand out a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to use something like this. So A2, B5, B6, that's what I'm going to use. Okay, exactly. Then I'll move this one to the back, and I'll duplicate it again. Okay, so I just duplicate, position it here, right click, send to back, and I can duplicate it again, maybe move it somewhere here, right click, and also send it to the back. Okay, then maybe with this I'm going to use a darker blue or a darker gray, something of that sort. Okay, so change your color to a darker gray. Okay, yeah, and I'll move this to the top a little bit so you can see what we are designing. Okay, yeah, then let me make it more darker. It should go down, not black, but it should be a darker gray. So 191919, that's what I'm using at the moment. Okay, yeah, awesome, beautiful. Okay, so this is what we have at the moment, and you can see this is just the skeleton of what we actually want to do today. So I am going back into my elements. Okay, and I'll search for this circular frame and reduce the size and position it here. So you just have to make sure it's centered in your tube. Okay, but I'll increase the size just a little bit and center. Nice one. Then we duplicate, okay, and do the same for this one, but send backward, and duplicate again and do the same for this. Okay, and okay, and you also send backward. Okay, very nice. So now you can see we have something clean like this. Okay, so what we are going to do now is to find some images and fix them in here. All right, okay, but before I do that, I would want to select all of this, and maybe all of this, but we are going to deselect some of these shapes we do not want to select. Okay, so hold shift and I click on this to deselect it. Click on this. Okay, deselect, and deselect. So you can see now we only have our tubes selected, and I'm just going to move it down a little bit, so something like this. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to fix some things over here, and you'd see it later on. So with this circle, I'm thinking of changing it, okay, because my design is now looking a bit too dark. Okay, and just come here and select something like this. Okay, so what we're going to actually do is just select any of this and come here, and okay, so something like this, which is beautiful. After you do that, what we are going to do next is now to search for some images, okay, to fill these circles. So we come here into photos, and I just search for travel, not Travec, okay, but travel, and you can see some of these images we are finding. But let's say we wanted a city, so I just search for city. Yeah, and it depends. So maybe this is where you'd be going, and maybe I can search for Delhi, in how do you call it, in India? It's New Delhi or something like that. I think that's the capital, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so I put that here, and with France, with the tower, I don't know the name of that tower, so I can just say France, and it should appear. Yeah, because that's the main thing we all know about France with this particular tower. So now that we have this, we now have to add some text, okay, to our design. So I can just press T on my keyboard for text to make sure nothing is selected. Okay, then I mistakenly pressed it twice, so I'm just going to move one, and with this one I'm going to say explore. Okay, then I align it to the left and move this here, so explore. Then I'll just change my font to I've seen some of my favorite fonts here. Okay, so I can use Poppins, and yeah, if you want to use Poppins, you can also use Poppins, but I think Poppins would be competing with the main things I want to talk about, so I'll just go with Montserrat. Okay, and I'll use the let me type this first, Montserrat. So I'll use the regular Montserrat. Okay, explore. Okay, then I duplicate, then I come back here and I'll choose maybe extra bold, okay, for this part of it, and I can say explore the world. Okay, the world, and I can change the color of the world to the blue we are using, the turquoise or whatever blue it is you are using. Okay, just to keep the contrast and highlight the word world for people to know it's a travel thing. Okay, so this is what we have at the moment, and we want to add a little bit of some slick design. So I press L on my keyboard for line. Okay, L for line. Then I hold shift and move this line so that we are able to move it without shaking it around, that kind of thing. And I duplicate the line and bring it somewhere here. Okay, and I duplicate the line again and rotate it and rotate the line, okay, to 90 degrees. Okay, and position it here. Then I press and hold shift to move it, so we have something like this. And we can't see the line right now because it's black, so we are going to change the color of this line. Okay, so we can use our turquoise blue, okay, for something like this. And yeah, I think it's looking beautiful. So I select all the line and I try to position it well. Okay, exactly. So we have something beautiful like this. Something beautiful like this. Okay, so the next thing we're going to add is some dummy text. Okay, and we'll position it under. So I don't, at the moment, I can't type it off my head. So I come to blindtextgenerator.com, and I just copy any of these dummy text okay, I want. So I just copy, come to my design, and I'll just paste it here. Okay, and just make sure if you don't have the regular Montserrat selected, you select that one. Okay, so that your text doesn't compete with your main title. Okay, so you can do it this way, and I'll change the color to white. Okay, so this is what we have at the moment, as you can see. Then what we are going to do next is to do something very interesting, and I'm just going to pick out one of my some two photos over here. So I select this and I select this image, and I will just move it on Canva. Okay, and with these images, like I was saying from the beginning, you can find it in the link. Okay, there's a link in the description that would lead you to these images. Okay, and I remove the background, so everything is there. Okay, so I click on element and I select the circular one again, position it here somewhere. Okay, and maybe I can increase the size, do something like this, Then I come into my uploads and drag this image in. Okay, then I increase the size of my image. So my image, maybe let me increase it more. Okay, nice one. So I want it to be like this, and I select my plane, okay, without a cloud. Then I try position it with my arrow keys. Okay, so that's how you should do it. And this might take you a little bit of time, but I'll say be patient and try to position it well, because if it's done perfectly, you'll be seen as a guru, trust me. And this is not a joke at all. So just take your time to position it well. Okay, increase. Okay, so I'm just increasing and decreasing and increasing and decreasing just for everything to fit. Okay, so this side looks off. Okay, so I just pull here up and bring it down. Okay, so you can see it's looking clean. No, it's not looking clean at the moment because you can see it in doubles. Okay, and when here becomes perfect, it looks like here isn't perfect, so it means that we need to be stretching it a little bit because it's still too small. Okay, all right, so this is looking much better. Beautiful. So I'll crop this in. Okay, and I would move this here, and I'll select all of this text and I'll right click, send to back. Okay, so that we can have something like this. Or if I want, I can also crop this portion inside. Okay, so that it will just be the head of my plane showing, but I want the whole wing to show. Okay, that's what I want. So yeah, so you can see this is what we've created so far, and we are still not done because we now need to add these text over here. So I come into my text and okay, so click on text and it should load. Then add a heading, and I can just say maybe package, package, so maybe package 1. Okay, and this can be here, and I can duplicate it. Okay, and bring this here and make it bigger. And of course we are going to make this package 2. Click duplicate this one since it's the same size as this one, and bring it here. Okay, and I can say package 3. So select all of this, package 3. So yeah, this is what we have at the moment. So I'm going to change the font type, so I can choose a script font. Okay, if you want, you can choose a script font. And yeah, so I'll choose this Bukhari script. Okay, and change for all. Okay, but if you want, you can choose any one at all you want. So these are there's the font I want to use, and afterwards I'm going to add some, let's say, what the package entails. Okay, so I am going to choose subheading and come into my element and search for plane, PLAN, an aeroplane. Okay, but just plane for short. And we are seeing all of these, but I'll choose this one, reduce the size of this. Okay, and the idea is that for every list we make, we are going to use the plane as a bullet. Okay, not gun bullet, but a bullet point. Okay, yeah. So I don't have any package in mind, so I'm just going to use a dummy text. But if you are designing this for a client, make sure you don't use a dummy text, please, because make sure you don't use a dummy text, because the client has actually paid you to add their information. Okay, so I just put Lorem IMSOM. Okay, I don't know what it means, but it's just a dummy, like, come on, just a dummy word which has no meaning. Okay, so you can see I have all of these selected, so I'll change the color of my text to the darker gray I used. Then I hold shift and just move this to duplicate. Okay, you can see how I did that. If you didn't get it, I'm going to do it again. Have both elements selected, then press shift and move. Once you move, it just creates a duplicate. This is what we call instant duplicates. Okay, or instant Photoshop. No, photocopy, not Photoshop. Okay, so let's say these were the packages you get if you select package 2 or your standard package or anything like that. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to select all of this, select the plane, and I'll duplicate it and move it here, and I'll reduce the size, okay, the size of this, and I'll move it here. Then I'll duplicate it again and move it here. Nice one. So you can see. Then we are going to add prices underneath. Okay, so I can select this one, move it to the bottom, and I'll just change the color to a darker gray also. Okay, and with the prices, I can see maybe for my agency the price is just let's say $1,000 for the standard package, and I'll just position it here. Okay, and then maybe increase the size, and I'll just come to position and center just to be sure. Okay, then I'll move it up, duplicate, and move this one here, make it smaller. And for this one, maybe the price can be maybe $950. I don't know, but let's just make it $950 for the sake of this tutorial. I would love to charge more. Yeah, because you'll be using a private jet, not a commercial airline. And this one can be like let me bring the dollar sign. I can say $750. Okay, yeah, so this is what we have at the moment. And now let's add some call to action, not contact details, not call to action. So I come here and select call, I type call, and it should load beautifully. Bring it down, and if you do not want people to contact you, then don't add your call your call information. But if you want people to contact you, then please take the time and add it, because it's very important. Okay, so change the text. I can use this, or I can use the darker gray, but I'll just stick to the darker gray, okay, just to keep things simple. So here, then I'll select all, and I'll just put my number, so +233 000, not plus, because if I put plus, no one can type that, no one can call me. So 002 584 382. Oh my. Okay, so I position it nicely, and okay, I press shift. What is happening? So click this, press shift, and also click this, and reduce the size small. It's not even reducing, so I would scale it up and reduce the size, okay, more. Then if you have a website, or if your client has a website, you can just type globe. Okay, and I'll select this one, the first one over here. You can also select it, okay, but if you're in Canva Pro, you can choose any of the Pro versions of the globe. So I position this one here, use the same color, okay, and maybe move it here. Then I can put my website, so www.mysite.com. Alright, and make it small a little bit and position it here. I think I like the size of this one. It's 20.2, so select this, make it 20.2. Yeah, and move this here, select. Because it's too small, I need to select the bigger one first. That's why it's not really working well when I'm trying to select the globe after I've selected the whatever, the URL. So now I select all of these, I group them so that I can position them to the center. This is what we have at the moment, but what you can do is you can also add your location. Okay, and if you want to add your, I don't want to add the location, I just want you to know that. Okay, but if you want to add a location, what you can do is you can come here and select location or location, and you see several pins over there, so you can just click on any of the pins. Let me just position this one well. Okay, so I can select any of the pins, bring them here, make them small. Okay, make it small. Select this and I'll just duplicate it. Oh, what's happening? Okay, so duplicate this, bring it here. Move it up a little bit. Okay, then I can just say maybe Lorem Street 1, 2, 3. Okay, so then I'll just position this one well. Okay, so now I hold shift, select this, hold shift, hold shift, hold shift, hold shift, and I move all to the center. Okay, so this is what we have at the moment, but just make sure all your things are positioned well and it's looking clean so that your clients can pay you more. Okay, and yes, this is what I wanted us to create in Canva. And make sure you always add your logo. You can't design, so you didn't even ask me that, Benjamin, how you didn't add a logo. Anyway, just come here and select logo, and I'll look for, let me just use this one for the sake of this tutorial. Okay, so I add my logo over here, and with the darker gray I make it the blue, turquoise, sorry. Then I'll duplicate this and maybe move it here, and I would say this one should be white, and change the name to travel agency. Okay, but it should be the name of your business. Okay, yeah, so this is what we have now, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, you can like, you can comment, you can subscribe if you want more tutorials like this. And yes, the name is Benjamin, and I would personally see you in my next tutorial. There is no limit to creativity.